You know, it is very sad that in the early 19th century, Africans were taken from Africa in chains to go and work in other countries. And in that way, a depopulation of Africa happened and economic growth of Africa was depressed while economic growth in other continents prospered. Now, the same is happening, but Africans are taking themselves out of Africa to Europe, to America, to Asia, to the Middle East, to invest their energies and skills in those countries, while Africa's economic growth continues to be depressed. This should be a matter that is of concern to policymakers at all levels. And I think the truth of the matter is that our leaderships, our political leaderships in Africa have been woefully deficient in creating the processes and mechanisms necessary for the youth to express themselves fully economically and to harvest the fruit of their labor. And this is a very, very sad situation. And until and unless the political leadership in Africa is able to create the opportunity for African youth to harvest the fruit of their labor and to grow themselves and to be able to bring up a family and to have a better life, the migration from Africa to the West, where the youth do not get very well treated, will continue. And therefore, it's up to us, all of us, the people in Africa, to challenge our leaderships and to create the momentum necessary to make changes, the necessary changes in the global financial infrastructure and the role of capital in our social development agenda, so that we do not continue exporting our labor to develop economies outside the continent, and our young people remain in Africa and invest their God-given gifts and talents in the African continent, so that we too can rise and we can actualize our potential, our full potentials as Africans, to be able to bring up our families and have a good life here in Africa. Africa is rich, Africa has the resources, but Africa lacks the leadership necessary to translate the resources we have into prosperity for the continent.